What up, you guys? As you guys already know, every like, every comment, and every subscriber gives me motivation daily to bring you guys the best MMA content on YouTube. So look, real quick, Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury 3 is happening this weekend. Unless you guys been living under a boxing rock, I'm assuming everybody knows this. Dude, this is the biggest fight, in my opinion, that boxing is gonna have all year. Every fight that's happened in the past, including this Jake Paul nonsense that's been going on, this fight is bigger than that fight. Why? Because this fight actually matters. This fight actually cares. And in my opinion, somebody's career is honestly on the line once again. So let's break it down honestly and objectively, like that's the only way that we can do it. And let's get to the truth. Let's see who Trippy's pick is going to be to win this fight. Let's jump into it. Okay, so let's start with Deontay Wilder. So Deontay Wilder clearly in the second fight lost pretty bad. I mean, the man got the brakes beat off of him for 7 rounds. But the first fight, how do we see the first fight? In my opinion, the first fight, Tyson Fury put on a boxing clinic against Deontay Wilder up until he got dropped twice. Now, you can make a solid argument that Deontay Wilder has won 2 rounds out of the 19 rounds they fought. But not only that, Deontay Wilder hasn't necessarily accepted the fact that he lost to a better man that night, which is very alarming whenever you try to put money on this guy to win this fight of all things. So, Deontay Wilder has came out with every excuse. He said that Tyson Fury loaded his gloves. He claimed Tyson Fury cheats. He even claimed that his trainer that basically saved his career that night and threw in the towel after taking a bucket load of damage was a sus teammate. Said that he wasn't there for Deontay Wilder. He was just there to, become famous or something crazy that he said. He even accused his former trainer of poisoning his water. That's how crazy it got. He said Tyson Fury loaded his gloves with egg weights. He said that the costume he walked out in made his legs so weak by the time that he got to the cage he had no legs. It's like, no, bro, I think you had no legs in the fight because you were so rocked. But, that's besides the point. But also, you look at Deontay Wilder, he hasn't necessarily healed from that. The first press conference these two had, Deontay Wilder had headphones in the entire time and only let his trainer talk and just basically ignored Tyson Fury the entire time. And I think he tried to play it off like, oh, I look so cool, just I don't care about the talk. Like, no, bro. Tyson Fury gets under your skin that much that you did not want to engage with him at the press conference. You find him so annoying, so irritating, because you can't face the truth that much that you had to just silence everything. Silence all the noise. But the one thing you can't silence is the freaking critics, okay? But anyway, Deontay Wilder has one thing, though, and we can just say this. He has thunderous power. Crazy power. Can put your lights out at any second. A lot of guys was debating, does he hit harder than Francis Ngannou? I will answer this now. Yes, he hits harder than Francis Ngannou. Deontay Wilder is laying guys out like that in 10-ounce gloves, 12-ounce gloves. Imagine the damage he would do in 4 ounces. He hits harder than Francis Ngannou, trust me. So, also, his trainer, he has changed trainers, and apparently this is a better boxing trainer than the last one he had, the one he fired. And this trainer has been teaching Deontay Wilder how to box. I've seen Deontay Wilder's training clips. He's actually gotten better. He looks like he's trying to work the body more, work the jab, and move his feet, which is very important, and looking to counter. So, how is that going to affect him in this fight? Well, I'll say this. If he can go to the body, if he can work that big, soft, lumpy body of Tyson Fury early in this fight, and he can work it successfully, that is going to pay him dividends in this matchup, okay? So his boxing coach is basically going to teach Deontay Wilder how to use his shots more successfully. Does that make any sense? Just be more smart with the punches that he picked. He's not just going to lunge in with heavy haymakers from a distance like how he's been doing with sloppy exchanges, because Tyson Fury has already seen that, He has to come with something different. But let's jump into Tyson Fury real quick. So there isn't much to say other than the obvious. Tyson Fury is a boxing genius. The way he moves, the way the unorthodox punches he throws, just his movement and his jerkiness, his freaking feints, everything that this guy does is just pure boxing genius. But one thing you gotta give Deontay Wilder credit for is that he was able to drop Fury twice, and that's hard to do. Fury is not infallible. Although he moves good for a heavyweight and he's slick and he's fast on the feet, got slick hands, good boxing, the guy has been dropped, rocked, and almost finished before. You guys gotta remember that. Tyson Fury, though, is just that the guy is just so dang good. Like I said, there isn't much to say other than the obvious. And in my opinion, he's going to be the better boxer in this matchup 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. The other thing is the size difference, is that Tyson Fury is much larger than Deontay Wilder. He may not be all muscle, but he's just a bigger man, and he's able to bully Deontay Wilder in there. He bullied the bully last fight, you know, and that is something Deontay Wilder just was not used to. Another thing is that Tyson Fury is so good at the sport of boxing that he can box you going forward, as we just say, and knock you out. And he can box you going backwards. That's the crazy thing, is that I think that Tyson Fury can not only outbox Deontay Wilder going forward, he can also outbox Deontay Wilder going backwards. I don't think that's his best bet to try and outbox him again going backwards, but he can do it. He also has underrated power, in my opinion, but, you know, that's besides the point. Let's jump into who do I think is going to win. Let's break the fight down honestly and objectively. Like I said, when you simplify the fight more, it's just hard to see a way Deontay Wilder wins other than knocking Tyson Fury out. Like I said, if he can work the body, if Tyson Fury tries to come forward and bully him again, if he can work the body, Deontay Wilder has power in everything that he throws, that Tyson Fury is going to feel those body punches. And if he can get Tyson Fury to back off and set up a big shot with that right hand, it could be lights out for Tyson Fury at any moment. But the thing is that I think that his right hand is going to be even less dependable than it was the last two fights. Now, I know he dropped Fury twice in the first fight. I understand that. And he put him out the second time he landed. I get that. But you got to remember, in the second fight, Deontay Wilder didn't land anything devastating enough to put Tyson Fury out at all, you know? Didn't even come close. So we gotta just go off based off the second fight and what Deontay Wilder can change. Like I said, he can try and back Tyson Fury up with the body shots. I do think that the body shots could be a good weapon, but the thing is that Tyson Fury is such a good defensive boxer that he might have that hole already tidied up. You know, they might already know that he might try and work the body this fight. So what I think is gonna happen is just that I believe that Tyson Fury is going to come forward again. Deontay Wilder is going to try and set the tone early and try to land some big shots and land some big shots to the body. And he's going to come out. I think that his trainer and his coach is going to come out with a genius game plan and try to work the game plan as much as possible. But I just think the moment Tyson Fury starts picking Deontay Wilder apart, landing big shots, I think that Deontay Wilder is just going to revert to the old style that he's always been fighting with. I believe that the moment he gets picked apart, the more and more shots land and the more he misses, he's going to get frustrated and he's going to start panicking. And I believe that it won't be as bad as last time. So I don't think that Tyson Fury is going to stop him earlier, but I do think that he probably will stop him again. I'm going to go with a 9th or 10th round TKO for Tyson Fury, because I just believe that it will go to plan for the Wilder side for the first 3 or 4 rounds. And then I believe that Tyson Fury is going to find his range, find Deontay Wilder's timing, and then just start landing big punches. Deontay Wilder's not going to react great to them, and then it's going to be the same thing going on from the 4th round. And then I think that he makes it to the 9th round, but gets ultimately stopped again. That's just my opinion. Or if he doesn't get stopped, it's just going to be a 12th round decision for Tyson Fury. Basically, this is Fury's fight, man. I just don't see... I always famously say, the knockout is good, but I cannot bet on a guy when his only chance to win is to knock the other guy out, because there's a big chance that that punch might not land. And saying that Tyson Fury had to deal and prepare for the power of Deontay Wilder twice now, freaking 19 rounds they spent together, I think that he's going to be more than ready for the power this time and avoid it at all costs and just simply pick apart Deontay Wilder. But that's my opinion. I want to know what you guys think. It's been your boy Trippy. Let me know down in the comments. It's been your boy Trippy, and I'm out, man.